Hello Space Cats, it's me Jules, back in the studio. Now if you remember a few weeks ago I did promise you that I would add to my folklore and fairy tales playlist. So I've been branching out and looking for other things that would be nice to bring a story to through illustration and through some extra words. I thought about that nursery rhyme of Little Bo Peep. It's very short and it doesn't really tell us a huge amount about who she was and what the sheep were doing when they were missing. So, if you want to do some drawing and painting and art with me, then grab your stuff. And if you don't, then you can just watch it unfold as it happens and I'll tell you the story of the real Little Bo Peep. If you make it to the end of this video and like the image, you can purchase either the original, there's just one, or a print of Little Bo Peep over on my website. You know where the link is, it's in the description. There's the finished drawing, but as you can see my paper is really bowed because it came from a roll of paper rather than a flat sheet of paper. So here is a trick that I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn it over and with just a normal little spray bottle, this is specifically my art spray bottle, I'm just going to spray the back of it, then cover it with a piece of newspaper on the back side. We don't want it on the front side, otherwise it will probably mark the paper. Doesn't matter if it's on the back. And then a heavy book on top, and this is Cozy Days, The Art of Iraville, which is a wonderful illustration book. And there, I'm going to leave it now until it's dry. It's been about 20 minutes since I sprayed the back of this. Now, let's have a look and see if it has worked. Pretty good. I reckon that's about as flat as it's going to get. So now I can tape that down to my board if I want, or I can just leave it floating free whilst I get everything else ready. And over here I've got my colour study. This was the original drawing that I did for the layout, which was underneath my piece of watercolour paper. And once I'd finished drawing it through onto the paper, I didn't really have much of a use for it, so I just sploshed some watercolour over the top of it as a colour study, and then that gives me a little bit more of an idea when I'm sitting down doing the final piece of work. The nursery rhyme goes like this. Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. Leave them alone and they will come home, wagging their tails behind them. But you know me, I like to make up a story, so here is my version of Little Bo Peep. The villagers of small Witherington were very proud of their gardens, and each year they wished that somebody would sign them up for the competition Britain in Bloom. A newcomer had come to the village, a certain Thomas Peabody, a keen gardener and newly retired. He had plenty of time on his hands, so he gathered together a group and entered them into the contest. The Bloomers, as they jokingly called themselves, spent months growing tiny seeds into seedlings, transplanting them into pots, and when there was no chance of frost, into the ground and the hanging baskets of the village. Everywhere you looked, there were blossoming geraniums, tumbling lobelia, and vivid busy lizzies. It was quite the job to keep everything watered. Little Bo Peep's family had a sheep farm on the edge of the village, and their fields swept across the beautiful uplands of Lancashire. Her job was to keep an eye on her flock, to move them from field to field to keep the grass and meadows shorn, and to make sure they had enough water to drink. The day for the Britain in Bloom judges to come was finally here. The bloomers were up at the first sign of daylight, watering every pot and plant they could see, and then once again, just for luck, Little Bo's day had started particularly early because her mother had asked her to pop to the shops before she began her normal routine, thus rendering her extra tired by the time she checked the sheep. She counted them. 98, 99, 100. Yes, they were all there. She looked in the water trough. It was full of clean water. That's good. She gave the animals a cursory once-over as they passed through the gate to the next field, just to check that no one was sick or injured. All were good. Little Bo decided she could afford 40 winks, so she settled herself down against the dry stone wall, out of the direct sunlight, and closed her eyes as the sheep meandered around the field. Down in the village, Thomas Peabody called a meeting in the village hall. He had written a very long list of jobs and doled out the roles to prominent members of the Bloomers. Litter picking and pot polishing had been left for the members who didn't attend every meeting. The whole village packed the hall, waiting for their assignment, each hoping they would be given something important, like helping to show the judges around. Up in the field, the sheep had discovered that someone had left the gate open on the far side. As Little Bo snoozed, the animals passed silently through the exit and out onto the single-track road, down into the village. Little Bo was dreaming about fluffy clouds. The clouds had sheep faces, but as each of them opened their mouth, a strange thing happened. She expected to hear "Baa!" but instead she heard the sound of a crow. She sat bolt upright, reeling from the odd dream, only to realise she had woken into a worse nightmare. The sheep were gone. Down in the village, the meeting was just winding up, and the good folk of small Witherington were leaving the hall with their instructions for the morning. Just as the judges arrived, Thomas Peabody and the rest of the Bloomers emerged from the hall to be greeted by 100 sheep, all munching happily on a new delicacy. Delicious, juicy flowers. And they had been presented mostly in pots at just the right height for a sheep's mouth. Well, you can imagine the chaos that ensued. Once they'd fully taken in the situation, Thomas Peabody and the group shouted and waved their arms to try and herd the sheep out of the village, but it was too late. Every last flower, stalk and leaf had been nibbled, with the exception of a particularly thorny rose. Meanwhile, Little Bo was worriedly searching for her lost flock. She went back to the field where they had come from, but they weren't there. She looked in the barn, but they weren't there. Eventually she started down the hill, passing through the little wooded area, just at the edge of the village. And there she found them, 100 naughty little sheep, looking very pleased with themselves, making their own way back to the field. "Well," she said, "I suppose there was nothing really to worry about. You'd have found your own way home in the end. I hope you've been behaving." The sheep looked at each other sheepishly. "Meh," they said. This is actually a real story, but I made up the place and the names. I've left the link in the description if you want to read the sorry tale of the real story.
Well, she was a right one, wasn't she? Next week I will be back in the studio doing some more studio sessions. If you are making a children's book or doing something that means you need to know how to draw babies and little children, then stick with me and watch out for that video because that's going to really help you. Until then, I'm off to peruse the pub menu and, more importantly, the dessert menu. I will see you next week. No.